I am such a lazy motherfucker. Lil- I, Uh, I can't believe I've quit working out for 3 days. I've stopped working out for 3 days. Working out is fun. I don't get it. It's my first break day. Ever since for a while. Not a while. I'm stupid. I did some IA shit. I downloaded some books this morning. I was supposed to read. I wanted to read Operation Barbarossa and Germany's Defeat in the East, but then boom, I'm such a lazy piece of shit that I'm binging Rooster Teeth YouTube videos. But it's Camp Camp. It's actually a really fun series, and I've gotten so lazy that I literally told myself I'm not gonna work out today, which is stupid. I haven't even done push ups yet in the morning. Jesus Christ, I haven't filled my bottle, I haven't gotten my second cup of coffee, I haven't cleaned my room, I haven't done fucking anything. There's no one at home. It's my absolute exploit chance to actually do some fucking things for my life. But no, I'm not gonna, because I'm a lazy piece of shit. And there's a message for myself for tomorrow to get my fucking ass moving and actually do some work. At least tonight, start reading German, the Operation Barbarossa. Oh my god, I'm so lazy. I could be doing something right now, I could be doing genuinely something productive in my life. Like, say, reading a book, furthering my knowledge, go wash my face again because it's filled with acne and disgust. Um, fucking get my ass moving from this goddamn chair because I've been sitting all day long, wash my feet, go take a fucking shower, cook something, rather than being a lazy ass who just literally put his coffee on his goddamn table and eats a fucking entire bag of shit and not even fill up with water. I don't know, go take a fucking shit just because it's like it at least will get me going. Clean my fucking laptop, clean my goddamn phone. I could be doing something with my life right now, but no, I decided today to be a lazy ass. Jesus Christ. Probably another thing I also hate is it's when Gen Zers, a bunch of people just say, oh yeah, dude, I feel you, man, I feel you. Like, oh, bro, I feel you, man, I feel you. First of all, Jesus Christ, my brain has never been able to revert back to the actual state of things when all I could think is, you trying to fuck him? It's kind of like saying, take this wood, I'm hard and I'm coming, and I'm gonna go for that person, and they're gonna let me in, whether they like it or not. And, and you just ask yourself, do you want to fuck that person, or like try to straighten them up? Like, what? It's like a parent saying, Timmy, I am hard and I'm coming for you. Okay, you're gonna let me in your room. Let me in. And it's like, I don't know, your kids lock up the door or something. And you say, I'm gonna come in whether you like it or not. And it's just like, oh my god. But I really hate it just because it's like, okay, sure, you've said that fucking thing like 1,000 times. Ooh, woo, you're so relatable. Ooh, woo, Jesus Christ. It is the exact argument of a lot of Gen Zers say like, oh yeah, no, you should try to go against the directions, try to go against shit. But then at the same time, they always say like, be relatable, kid, be relatable. Ooh, woo, else you get fucking ostracized from society. Woo. that is the shitty thing about masses of people, is that we're smart enough to argue, to make a language, but yet we're fucking stupid enough so that whenever a person says something, we immediately judge them extremely harshly. So a lot of the time you can't even, let's just say, I don't know, you have something researched out, you have something really put out, and you genuinely padded your research with a lot of other research. You've spent fucking years on this, right? And then boom, you just get called by a fucking idiot by a bunch of people, even though you're trying to argue your points. Like, whatever your points say, they just say, dude, that's just a fucking idiotic thing, and then they just have nothing at all to back it up. Something that's very good example that I could think of that's not just an absolute cesspool thing is sumo deadlift versus conventional deadlift. A lot of people will say like, ooh woo, sumo is cheating, ooh woo. And then you try to actually give them some evidence that no, sumo isn't cheating. Just because if you ever tried, good example would be if you ever tried doing sumo, it feels as if your fucking crotch is gonna get torn in half. they would say something like, actually, Mark Ripto say that he has a problem with a sumo. First of all, that's one person. So good job. No matter how influential they might be, that's still one person at the end of the day. Secondly, no, he does not have a problem with the lift. His problem is that the grip is too close, which someone argued once on some fucking short that I saw on YouTube that was about a Spanish arm wrestler who did a pretty damn good sumo deadlift. I think it was close to 440 pounds. Like, moved pretty damn well and everything. Really good form. And a person said, "Ooh, the Mark Ripto," and I literally, I literally said, "No, that's not quite it." And I tried to support my argument, and they haven't answered to this day. I'm just like, come on, man, come on. I also hate people also saying that sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, we could totally destroy this person in an argument. Oh, we can totally do that, but we're not doing it. So, which half the time I just think like, that is the shittiest argument I've ever heard. I used to do that all the time. But now I don't, because I've realized that, oh, if it's so easy, then fucking do it. It's like people saying, oh, whoa, man, I don't do push-ups for a workout. There are genuine people who would actually do that. Like, we would be strong enough to a point that they wouldn't do that. Or simply put, they don't find it really good. Which, in my opinion, that should be the argument. You know, someone like, say, Greg Doucette, it would take him, he can very much do it, he does not deny that. But he basically says, it would take me so goddamn long that I might as well not do it. You know, he has a home gym anyway, so it's just like, where the fuck would he do a bunch of push-ups? But, you know, for people who started working out some shit that says, ooh, this workout is really easy or something, okay, then do it, if it's so goddamn easy. Boom. Right? I started doing push-ups at home as well. At first I thought like, ooh, push-ups so easy. Okay, then do 30 of them. 30 of them. Do full genuine rep. Do explosive rep. There's so much shit that you can do. Do some other shit that is also challenging somewhat. It's just like, just go high reps. Boom. Definitely, it starts sucking. I do not deny that. It probably, like, you know, average time in the gym spent to get a damn good chest pump goes from like 20 minute to around a fucking hour. Just to get a damn good chest pump. It takes an hour. So I'm just like, yeah, no, I definitely see that it does suck, but if you do have the fucking time and shit, do it. It's actually great. But that is the thing about humans. It's just, I hate so many things about us as humans. I really fucking do. The more you learn, the more you just learn to hate people. Just because half the time you're just like, oh my god, we're all fucking hypocrites, we're all cunts, we don't know what the fuck we're doing with life.
It's 16:30.
Half the time I ask myself, how the fuck do these people go to sleep at night soundly? You know, sometimes people would complain, ooh, I get so little sleep, but then at the same time they spend all fucking time in bed going on their goddamn phone. An example would be one of my relatives in my family. Jesus Christ. They sometimes say, ooh, it's actually really hard for me to sleep. But then I see their sleeping behavior. They sleep at like 1 o'clock in the goddamn morning and wake up at like 7 or 8. So I'm just like, okay. And secondly, they literally spend a lot of time just going on their devices before they go to sleep and when they wake up. So it's like, first thing they pick up in the morning when they wake up is their phone. I'm falling into this shit, which I don't like. I really don't. I love to wake up in the morning, just turning off my alarm, opening up the window, looking outside, just being like, okay, what am I going to do next? Drink some water, go down to the bathroom, wash my face, and then when I start making food, genuinely turn on my phone to do shit. But of course, that's not the case. Humans are really bad with addictions. You know, they are really bad at disciplining themselves. They really are. Humans are like that. Which is definitely an argument for authoritarian rule. Jesus Christ, I do not completely support authoritarian rule. Just because it's like, well, I mean, then that goes back to the question of like, why the fuck people fought for democracy in the first place. It is quite interesting whenever you look into the human conditions of this shit. Really, really is. Because it really does beg the question of, is democracy any good? Is socialism any good? Is any system any good? Supposedly, Winston Churchill once said democracy is absolute shite, extremely paraphrasing it. But he basically says supposedly that democracy is shite, but every other system is shiter than democracy, so we might as well go with the least shite. Um, a lot of people also sometimes argue that, oh yeah, democracy is like, it's all that we got. Then my question would be, is it really? Is it really? A lot of people say like also, oh yeah, then I mean it's pretty easy. All you have to do is look at the plus and the minuses of every system, and then boom, we just pick the one with the least amount of minuses, the least negatives. Then the question would be also, that's not really the case. Communism sounds great. It really does. It sounds fucking awesome, quite literally, because the Communist Manifesto, written by Karl Marx, is actually written wonderfully beautiful. If you speak really any language, there is definitely a Communist Manifesto version in that language. There's a very high chance that it is in your language, in your native language. If you literally live anywhere in Europe, then there is 100% going to be a Communist Manifesto in that language. Literally. If you live anywhere in Europe. So that's great, you can actually read over about it. It is wonderfully written. It is beautifully written. It is that if you put that shit on a literature test, you are getting an 11 out of 10. Because Jesus Christ written very wonderfully. But holy shit, it's also very vague. And when you really think about it, it sounds amazing on paper. It really does. It sounds wonderful on paper. But yeah, that's on paper. Putting something into practice is so incredibly hard. When you if you say that, then that means the system that sounds worse on paper would somewhat be like democracy or something, because you have a lot of layers of things to go through. And I mean, like, okay, think about it. Do people vote for someone to be in the parliament or in a certain institution? This is what I know. And those people vote for someone else. Oh wow, great. So are they really for the people's opinion then? It's like, no, they can just all vote in their interest, which, I mean, yes, it's definitely a large scale lying thing, but that could still very much happen. Oh wow, great. And that also means that you get this level of compromise and another level of compromise. So in the end, you really ask yourself, is this really efficient? Like, it takes a goddamn while to do anything, doesn't it? Because people have so much vastly different idea. I told you, it's just like anyone who thinks of the term normal as being normal is so fucking wrong. Like, something that's normal for Gen Zers is absolutely baffling to say millennials. And something that's normal for millennials would be absolutely baffling for boomers. I don't know about you, but hearing people vape at the age of 14, or hearing some of my classmates just being like, oh yeah, dude, we already started hard drinking. I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, so that is the thing. The normal condition could mean so much. Like, what is normal? What is considered even to be normal? In the gym as well, for someone deadlifting 400, 500 pounds, fucking real normal. I mean, I know that is for Larry Wheels. Like, that man probably puts on 500 pounds, he lifts that shit up, and he's like, oh, that's it's kind of heavy. It's pretty light, isn't too bad. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just, what even is defined as normal? There's no definition for normal. There really isn't. I hate a lot of things, but I cannot deny the fact that I also love a lot of things about the world. There really is wonderful, beautiful things about this world. Like, say one that I learned pretty recently is in World War II, during the Battle of Britain, and when generally Germany is aiming its aims towards Britain. On one of the occasion is that so you basically have to imagine that during the Battle of Britain, the air superiority was a massive thing. That was a very prominent thing. And because of this, and because of how planes are back in World War II, whenever you get shot in a plane, a lot of the time if say smoke fills up, like you get shot down, you have to more or less pull your parachute. There's a lot of things to do. And the big problem, we're just not going to discuss how absolutely horrifying it is to, I don't know, let's say you get shot in your gasoline tank, everything burns on fire, and then you have to get out, which, I mean, just to say the least, you literally have to like flip the plane so that your cockpit would be able to open, you would actually be able to fly down, open your parachute, and hope everything works. The big problem is that you are going to meet up with the locals. And the thing about the RAF, the Royal Air Force, is that they have a large amount of combatants that are Polish, that are Nazi Germans, and from a bunch of other nationalities. And surprise, surprise, they only migrated very recently from, say, like the invasion of Poland, or they escaped away from their country. Surprise, surprise, they don't speak English very well. So you have that situation. So whenever, say, they will fall from a plane, they get caught in a tree or something, they would have to speak English. And the locals don't know anything about these people. They fucking don't. I mean, just to say the least, how many Polish were in there? They basically, if I remember correctly, they made like 4 divisions made out of purely Polish flying soldiers. The 300th and first, no, the 300th, 301, 302, and 303, I think, of the flying division. Go check up World War II. The source is like 049. World War II 049. Just type it in from the World War II channel, week by week. Either it's 052, Burn London Blowing. I also want to watch some of them, more of their content. It's actually really good. But one Polish soldier got stuck in a tree, and the locals with literal fucking pitchforks went out and it says Hände hoch, which basically means hands up in German. And this British flying soldier, in his best English that he could, says fuck off. And that convinces the local that he's one of theirs, which is just so bizarre. There's this thing about humans. A lot of the times people always say like, oh, treat your indifferences, blah 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 blah. But it just seems as if the Gen Z is always, a lot of people, not Gen Zers, I shouldn't have said that, really cares about the fact that, oh, we should just accept the differences. We should have this absolute. It's like diluting their own thing. It's just like, oh no, we should be all inclusive, blah 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 blah. No, everyone is under the same sun. Everyone's put under the same category. A lot of their argument is like, oh, it's a white and a brown egg. They both have the same yolk. We bleed the same blood. We are humans. They put everyone under this umbrella term and try to emphasize this umbrella that covers everything. But a lot of the time, it just seems as if they never try to celebrate the differences between people. It sounds like it sounds like McDonald's being everywhere, where now you go to countries and say, I don't know, you're someone who has a lot of experience with McDonald's, you turn the street corner and boom, there's a McDonald's. I don't know about you, but that sucks. If you travel somewhere, wouldn't you want to experience something different? Isn't that the whole point of traveling? Is to see something that's very prominent, that's different from your own, that's in a faraway land. But yet, McDonald's are everywhere, and people always just keep saying this thing of, ooh, we're all humans, blah, 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 blah. But I really hate that as well, just because you don't celebrate the differences. No, there should be differences. People should be different. People should absolutely, in my opinion, be so vastly different from each other that a lot of time we wouldn't understand them. And that is the amazing thing in life, is that at least then we all strive to understand people rather than just put all of them under this massive umbrella, this massive core, this massive group that we can just never really touch because they're one of our own. You wouldn't stab your own child, would you? You would never offend these people. And it's just, I don't want to say we have gotten soft, because no, we have not gotten soft. We have tried to confront a lot of these things, and it sucks ass. Of course, it's like learning psychology, learning about your own mind and how absolutely fucked up it is. It's hard. It really is hard. But even worse is that a lot of Gen Zers do this, just like me in the beginning. Said, oh, I'm such a lazy piece of shit, but yet we don't do anything about it. A lot of people can accept and very much are conscious of what they do, but there's a difference between knowing something and understanding something. You might know that you're a lazy piece of shit, but you don't understand it. That's why you don't change it. You don't understand the consequences behind being lazy or procrastinating. You might you might understand it somewhat, but not fully, would you? I mean, think about this. You know, I don't know. You always know of yourself as being a lazy piece of shit, and at the age of 24, you're just watching some YouTube videos. You're just lazing off, and then someone texted you. You know it's your mom. You look at it a little bit and you know it's mom or it's like dad or something, and then you think to yourself, oh yeah, I'm just gonna answer that tomorrow. And then a week later, you got news that mom died. I don't know about you. That will probably clear a lot of people's laziness. They would never want to be lazy again just because their ma or pa died and they didn't fucking know about it just because they didn't read that message because they were lazy. Lazy, quote unquote. But that is the thing about it as well. It's just, in my opinion, the thing that sucks about the Gen Z generation is just that on the surface, very much superficially, it just seems as if they never want to take on a challenge. And partly I also blame this due to the education system. But at the end of the day, it just seems as if no one ever wants to take on a challenge. And that sucks ass. It really, really does. No one ever wants to take a challenge. Everyone just wants to have fun all the time. Which I mean, yeah, it's your life. Do whatever the heck you want. I can only egg you on and tell you, yo, you should do this, or yo, you should do that for only so much before I just say to myself, I give up. Yeah. Just as Camp said, everyone gives up, everyone runs away, because that's normal. I accept that fully. If, say, an invasion were to happen on your country, and you fly away to a fucking country, that sounds like the most logical decision to do. Despite it being called fight or flight, people will probably flight a lot more. I mean, if when you analyze it, it just makes sense. If you're up against a fucking bear, you might as well run. Because if you can find a good enough place, you will very much outrun by distance the bear. Animals cannot run very far. They can run fast. Very fast. These fuckers are really fast. Bears can run up to like 35 kilometers an hour, and hippopotamus as well. And these things are gigantic. Like, in a sense, if you can find a good enough place that can cut off the bear somewhat, yeah, no, seriously, you very much can outrun it in distance. Say, if a cheetah were to chase you, they can only chase you for max 5 seconds before they literally get tired. Very, very quickly. They get tired extremely, extremely quickly. Plus, even if they were to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna really try to run after my prey, even then, they're gonna overheat. Animals don't sweat. Well, a lot of animals do not sweat. They don't. So what ends up happening is that they have to drink a massive amount of water to more or less cool themselves off. As humans, we, thank God, have this advantage of sweating, which cools our bodies off. If you have ever tried to, let's say, run with a trash bag, you will see how hellish it is. That's like, in a sense, simulating what not sweating is like. You have all these heat bouncing back into your body, and it's extremely hellish. But either way, yeah, I just hate a lot of things. I love a lot of things. This world is it's an absolute mess. It really is an absolute mess. I'm surprised that we can live to this very day. Supposedly, one historian has also said that, just I should learn some stuff about addictions and stuff. And even then, when talking about learning, I should also learn the German language, because if I ever want to apply to university and have somewhat of a life here, I need to learn German. Then half again, I also really want to just go back to Vietnam, I don't know, just quit everything, just say, you know what, I fucking give up. I'm gonna learn German on my own. No, like, if I were to go back to Vietnam, I will 100% not give up my efforts of learning German. That is not a joke. I will do everything in my fucking power to learn German and to get that shit done. If I choose to go back to Vietnam, no, get a fucking university degree there or something. Definitely, I also have to learn Vietnamese. Now that I think about it, I would be happier there in a sense, because it's like, you know, close to me, mom and dad. I could do something. They could sign me up to a gym. That would be fun. Um, Definitely the fees there are very expensive and shit. I don't deny that. I feel real bad, but at the same time, I only have so long, you know, left of education. I have a nicer table. I won't have my own room, but I really do not give a shit about that. Just, I should learn German, you know. Definitely, not having university fees sounds amazing, dude. And also not having to meet up with classmates who, I mean, to say the least, with my Vietnamese classmate, I literally had no idea what they were doing. When I first heard they were going to each other's houses, playing video games, and going outside, I was actually just like, what? It was such an alien idea to me that I truly said in my own head, what? That's just like willy nilly going over to each other's houses? What the shit? It was so alien to me, yeah. I mean, I'm somewhat glad that I did that just because I had such a long period where I thought to myself, I want to do something. And even then, I still suck at doing a lot of things just because I always want to jump into the high ends of things, the big brain shit, the one that just says about the thing purely because of my absolute stupid pride. Once again, there's another thing. I know it, but I don't understand it because I'm not changing it. I don't ever fucking consider myself as understanding something, and even then, shitting myself, as I've said previously in videos that no one will ever watch, is that it's the shitty thing that Gen Zers do all the fucking time. It's a defense mechanism. They say, "Oh, I suck so much. Oh, I suck so much." Yeah, you're just fucking defending your big ass ego because you have nothing. You have no other basis other than just to say that, "Oh, I made my mistake. I suck, man." Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I should end the video. I've gone on for way too long. I just want to take a shit. Anyway, you know, I hope you have a nice day. I hope you have a nice vacation wherever you might be. Whatever endeavors you're taking on to yourself, whether that be learning a new language, making friends, making a girlfriend, having a good relationship, anything, fucking anything in life. I 100% support whatever cause you're doing. It could be something like bombing people. I shouldn't have said that, now YouTube will be onto me. It could be some atrocity. I literally do not give a shit. Whatever thing you are doing, if you have enough shit that backs it up, that says, I believe in this, I understand it, because I do truly 100% think and believe that this thing is good, and I have a lot of and sufficient sources to back up my understanding. You know, because of nowadays, you literally have no excuse. You don't have any excuse of, I don't know, being that like Hitler guy where he thought, oh yeah, the world has a shrinking market, now I should wage war or more or less deport out all the Jews from Europe because that would ruin civilization. Yes, at first the big plan was deportation. However, that was going way too slow, and they were not really winning the war, especially when the tides really turned in the 1940s. 1940, 1941, Germany was more or less in the condition where they thought to themselves, yeah, just saying we might lose because of a severe lack in resources. Even though, yes, they were making major gains, however, towards the latter half and later end of 1941, 1940, sorry, they weren't doing too hot. They were not. Yeah, Battle of Britain wasn't going too hot a lot of the time. The taking over France in 6 weeks was glorious, but not when Britain starts going. Yeah. And also a lot of the time the process was going just too slow and everything. But yeah, the final solution was implemented, if I remember correctly, only in 1941, which at that point the oil crisis in Germany was a fun thing. Yeah, Germany lacked a lot of oil, especially during World War II. When Operation Barbarossa commenced, which was the invasion of the Soviet Union, one commander, I forgot who he was, who was in charge of the economics of the country, more or less, said that we basically have like 2 months of oil. 2 months of oil. That's not a lot. That is not a lot. Yeah, either way, I want to get back to binging Camp. I don't know, after that episode I might go take a shit and clean up a tiny bit. And then I will do some stuff. I want to record my diary, but at the same time I really just want to like sit there for like an hour talking into the diary and say shit. Yeah. Or I'm gonna make a YouTube video, and just upload it unsolicited, unlisted, for my own shit, and then just post it on. I'm not gonna delete this YouTube channel. I really don't think I will. I'll keep posting shit on it. I'll keep posting shit on this channel. Maybe someday I'll be interested enough in the goddamn YouTube channel that I'll actually start doing some edited stuff, like genuine fun stuff, because I have a lot of ideas. I don't deny that, but I lack the execution because there is so much to do. The word gives you so much to do, it really does. It really fucking does, doesn't it? You know. When you strip everything to its bare bone, it sounds very depressing. Just because it's like the shit that you can do. Go on your laptop, go on the internet, and go on your phone. Play with friends, which is also very connected to the internet, I don't deny that. Read a book, also very connected to the internet. Sleep, eat, take a shit, take a shower, do chores. And then when you start expanding to like doing stuff, it doesn't sound very, it is all under the subcategory of like the internet, you know, because there's a lot that you can do. And I tell you, when you strip down everything, it does sound really sad, you know. When I hear like sometimes older people says like, "Ooh, what the fuck do you kids do for fun nowadays? Like, what, go on the internet?" I really want to just argue with them, like say yes, because you are literally the same. The internet is what we make it out to be, and that's what you more or less did as well when you didn't have the internet. Saying, "Ooh, I survived without the internet, therefore you should be able to survive without it." No, taking the internet away from younger people would basically be the same as trapping a fucking boomer inside their own home and telling them, no, you're not allowed to read a book at all. Also, you're not allowed to talk with your friends. Yeah. It's not. Yeah, that's another good thing. Search up like a graph, like a picture representation of like justice, fairness, equality, and other shit like that. What it is that you can have equal footing, but that doesn't mean you have as much leverage as someone else. You know, like say, if you give a millionaire $1,000, it'll be like, okay, cool. But if you give a broke person $1,000, they'll be like, holy fuck, you just saved my life. I have a fucking roof on the top of my head for like a few more days. Thank Lord. So it's just like, no, you don't have the same leverage. Just straight up, you give an extremely smart person a book, they will get so much out of that book. Let's say, I don't know, I have a book right here, History of Japan. You get someone who's genuinely interested in this shit, and they read it. They read all 400. Yeah, I'm just looking at like other shit. Jesus. So it's just like, it's a really, really good book. I think I should actually read through it. It's like a really, really thick book. It's like 400 pages. You give a smart person this shit, they are gonna get so much out of it. They're gonna get so fucking much out of it. I read done this shit, I'll probably know some stuff about it. You know? It's just like, you know what? I'm gonna end with this. I'm gonna end this with saying, with the preface that the world is a beautiful and wonderful trash pile. And that's what makes life so goddamn interesting. Also, I think this is like the 23rd days of summer because I didn't upload a video yesterday because I'm a fucking idiot. Either way, goodbye.